Very good morning to all of you here. You had your breakfast or not? Very good morning to all of you. That makes more sense. I'm a very simple, fun-loving person, want to meet new people, new friends. Dr. Tulika has been so generous talking about me. That's the main problem. When they ask you, among all the busyness, they give you a WhatsApp message, please send your CV. Now for every time, I cannot make a CV for every occasion. Every second day, I'm lecturing somewhere in India. So it is not possible. I make a general thing from there. I always write one sentence in my WhatsApp reply, pick up the relevant points. Don't make it too long, because it's very embarrassing. Somebody talking about you right here. And we are not that big person, A very simple person, like any one of you, coming from a very modest middle-class background, going to vernacular medium school in Guwahati, and then Cotton College, and then Assam Engineering College, then Kanpur IIT, and then short trainings here and there. Basically in UK, because my research area interest was environmental biotechnology, and in my times, 89, 90, 91, the best of the people were from Glasgow, Dundee, Aberdeen, which are all cities of Scotland. You must be all knowing. So that's the reason I never thought that coming out of the engineering college, I will be doing something here and there like this. Now, the third time I'm coming out of the engineering college. First time I went to work in Government of India. The organization which a principal was mentioning, National Council for Science and Technology Communication, is the body which requested Government of India that please give us one day for this great man, the first Asian Nobel laureate, and the totally homemade Nobel Prize. Other Nobel Prizes, normally what happened? Indian people have got Nobel Prize. You will tell me why C.V. Raman, his nephew also got Nobel Prize for Chandrasekhar limits, S. Chandrasekhar, right? Then Hargobind Khorana was there from Chandigarh, 1968. But those were Nobel Prize which has gone to the kitty of USA. If you look at the bag of the Nobel laureates, Indian, because they already became green card holders when they went to do the research out there. Similarly, India also has gained. If the lady called Agnes Gogshia Bujagshu didn't come from Austria and changed her name to Mother Teresa, you wouldn't have gotten that Nobel Prize for Peace. Now, India got the Nobel Prize, which Bavaria or Austria didn't get, right? It's an international exchange process. People go from here and there, and then finally they get some recognition. So this man is very special, C.V. Raman, because I have gone into the details of where he had worked, and Raman Research Institute in Chennai, IISc Bangalore, highest rated Indian institution in the world. Whatever rating it may be, from European nations or USA or any other independent jury, they make some rating of the institutions. IITs don't come within first 200. IISc Bangalore does come. It's the Indian Institute of Science, although engineering is also taught there. This is a great contribution of C.V. Raman, besides Raman Research Institute. And of course, the movie has made my job easier. The small clipping you have seen, how a patriotic Bengali gentleman called Mahendralal Sarkar, he wanted to invest some money, and he dreamt that somebody will work on his laboratory. Nobody paid any attention. Everybody was busy. And this man, short stature, turbaned, pure Tamilian Brahmin, he came to join the Indian Accounts and Audit Service. If he had remained the same service, due course of time, he would have been promoted to what Nirmala Sitharaman is today, Finance Minister of India. What we have today, Finance Minister, he would have risen to that level. Because at very early age, he joined there. And then one fine day, on the request of Ashutosh Mukherjee, he left a job giving him about 1600 rupees at that time, 1600 rupees, and he joined Calcutta University for only half of that amount. People in Chennai, at that time not Chennai, Madras. In Madras, his own people were shocked. Ye aadmi pagal ho gaya. He's gone mad. 1600 rupees salary, Nokar, Chakar, Bungalow, living all this luxury in life, he has joined in teaching in Calcutta University. But Raman, he knew what he is going to do. While coming from his home to office, when he was in account service, he used to read the signboards, nameplates on the way. He used to travel by tram. Now I am not sure whether all of you have seen a tram. It is still there in Calcutta. In between the street, in two rails, the tram goes, tung, 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 sound karke, tram will go. Some sort of a train, looks like a train bogie, moves in the road. So he used to move, and he always used to see this name, Indian Association for Cultivation of Science. What cultivation of science? What is this? He didn't understand. So he used to always see address 221 Bow Bazaar Street, famous street in Kolkata those days. And then one day he thought, I must solve this mystery. What is this cultivation of science? He jumped out of his tram in that place, and after office, 5 o'clock, he went inside and found one typical Bengali babu with dhoti and kurta sleeping on the chair, table chair. আপনাকে কি লাগে মশাই? What do you want? কি লাগবে? I want to know what happens here, cultivation of science. अरे एक आदमी ने बनाया था 1876 में, somebody made this. He thought a lot of people will come and work here. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Sometimes some people come from the university, some students come, they work for laboratories. I am sitting and sleeping here because I don't have any work to do. He says, can I come after office hours and do some work here? This man, this clerk, Bengali clerk, was totally surprised, shocked. Who is this man? Then he says, I am from Madras. My name is Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman. I work here as a audit accounts officer. I want to work after office hours. Okay, welcome, do come. That is the beginning of India's first only indigenous Nobel Prize. Already it has been mentioned, 1928, before midnight. In those days, if you do not try to announce or publish your research work, somebody else will take it. I'll come to that sometime later. What India could have achieved in science and technology, and what we have not been able to achieve because in our childhood, tremendous premium was laid on oral education. Indian culture is like that. Guru has 40 shishyas in Gurukul. Those 40 shishyas in the early morning will wake up, help the Guru Patni, Guru Mata, to cook food, get some firewood, clean the stable, bath the cows, milk the cows, do all the household things, and then come to the Guru. And Guru will start reciting from his memory. Gita, Upanishad, Puran, that's how we have got in Hindu mythology so many things. And before he dies, he will make out of 40 boys, one boy the next Guru, depending upon how much more retention memory he has got. And today, we are fighting under NEP 2020 for removing the rote learning process, isn't it? You people are the best people, better suited than me to speak about how rote learning education has ruined our innovation, our creativity, our ingenuity. Right? So Indian scientists, they did the work but never bothered to write down or publish somewhere or tell the people. Raman's 3-4 friends were there in Kolkata who says, CV, if you don't publish your work, whatever you have found about diffraction of light, I'm telling you, European people are working very hard. One day they will take the credit for this Raman Effect. He was compelled. He was not very interested, but he was compelled by his friends. There is a story behind. 28th Feb, almost before midnight, he wrote these things, and next day he published. 28th was the day when he jotted down the things, so it is the Science Day, National Science Day. And anyway, 29 February doesn't come. It comes only after 4 years, so very difficult to commemorate or celebrate also. If somebody debates, why not 29 February, like Morarji Desai, our ex-Prime Minister, when he became Prime Minister, someone asked him, sir, what is your age? He said 19 years. All the reporters were laughing. He says, I was born on 29th of February. That is the great Morarji Desai, who first time in India broke the monopoly of Congress and brought a non-Congress government, 1977. Most of you were not born at that time. So this time the topic given is integrated approach in science and technology for a certain future. I will not speak too much on that, rather I would like to take you, because I knew some students will be here. So what great scientific heritage we have had, I'll speak a few things on that. And already you know, today is the day when we celebrate, feel proud, and let the world know about India's achievements in science and technology. Do you know this year what is the theme given by Government of India for this Science Day week? On 22nd it started. Today, right now when we are talking here, in Vigyan Bhavan, Calcutta, Delhi, Vigyan Bhavan, the program is coming to a culmination. It is called Vigyan Sarvatra Pujyate. Science is celebrated or prayed everywhere. Vigyan Sarvatra Pujyate. Puja means to give your reverence. So this is the think tank this time given. Prime Minister Office has given the clearance, and my ex-colleagues with whom I had started working on Science Day in India and taking science communication in 1998, 99, 2000. I was there for 3.5 years in New Delhi, working in the Ministry of Science Technology. All my friends and colleagues this morning, they gave me message. They are all busy now in doing the spade work for this celebration in Vigyan Bhavan, right? So, first statement I would like to make, which you must all think about. Only science and technology doesn't bring about a sustainable future or changes. That is why after 2013, basically one more word, innovation, has been added to S&T. Now many of the states, they call their policies STI policies. Earlier we called ST policy. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1958, he passed the Scientific Policy Resolution, we call SPR, in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and he made the first Scientific Policy Resolution in India. Now you will be again surprised to know, Scientific Policy Resolution, India was the first country to adopt through Parliament. Many years after that, actually, what we call most developed countries, those countries came forward to have their science policies. And we have undergone a number of changes. Policy in 1958, policy in 1975, policy in 1983, 2013 policy, and now we have got a STI policy, because I said innovation is a very, very important word. Within the space of science and technology, one has to innovate. Innovation is not doing different things. It is called doing things differently. Tendulkar said, I don't play any extraordinary cricket what Don Bradman or Hadley had played. I am a simple cricketer. Even Gavaskar is also much better than me in terms of consistency. But Tendulkar had some innovations in his cricket. That is why he is Tendulkar. With him, many people came. We all know them very well. VVS, Lakshman, Rahul, Dravid, Ganguly, we all know them, Yuvraj Singh. But Tendulkar is Tendulkar. That is what we call something different. Staying within the limits, something different. That is what innovation is all about. And global leaders are in fact all great innovators. By global leaders, I mean leaders of science and technology, not Vladimir Putin. Please don't misunderstand me that today morning I am talking about Putin. He is not innovator. So irrespective of who we are, what we do, where we stay, science, technology, innovation encompasses everyone's life, and therefore it is called STI policy. Assam government also is trying to reframe the earlier science policy into STI policy. Before going to the theme, let us see important things. Tributes to the man behind National Science Day. 1888, he was born in Tiruchirappalli, 7 November. During those days, India didn't have BSc. Even if you study science, it is called BA. Right? BA in 1905 and MA in 1907 from Madras. Then I said about this Bowbazar, 210 Bowbazar Street, famous house now. Age of 29, he joined Calcutta University in the request of Ashutosh Mukherjee for half the salary. Set up his lab and devised experiments. Life changed for him and Indian science forever. 1922, this is also another big story one chapter in his memoirs. Why should I go to England? I don't take wine. I don't take meat and fish and egg. There is a lot of cold out there. I don't put on too many Western clothes. How will I survive there? No, sir, many people before you have survived there. People from many parts of India who are pure vegetarians have gone and survived there. So he went there. He went there, not a reluctance. So while coming back from there in 22, he requested the ship captain. There was no Hawai Jahaj, ship, voyage. He requested the captain, can you put a chair, after breakfast, can you put a chair for me? And on a small table in the deck of the ship, I want to see the sky and the ocean. That is one turning point in life, right? If you read his book, you will find from 1923, he started work on this Raman Effect. Before that, he was doing something else. So, his first foreign tour to England changed his life, and he wanted to know why it is like that. When you look at the ocean from a distance, look at the sea, it is blue. When you go closer and pick up some water, it's colorless. In a great mass, it's blue. But if you go in a plane, would you find any blue sky? No. You see only white everywhere. White flakes, white snow, everywhere. When you are moving at, say, 35,000, 38,000 feet above the sea level, ground level. So, that's the point. In a huge mass, how does it happen? Something must be there. So, really very interesting. Roughly about 100 years back from today, the world had not yet discovered the scattering of light. We all know about Vibgyor. We love to see the rainbow. We all know about Vibgyor, 7 colors in a monochromatic light. How the monochromatic light becomes 7 colors once it passes through some prism or prism-like object. That gave the food for thought to C.V. Raman, and he says that there must be something interesting. Same designs are seen when light passes through a prism. Spectrum studies always interested Raman. It was scattering of light which made Raman think and explain why sea water is blue. Therefore, he did experiments with beams of monochromatic light to study pattern. Monochromatic is single color. Whatever light we see, there is single color light. He started doing work on that. Raman got busy in his makeshift lab with optical beams and patterns. You will not believe he spent only about rupees 500 to make his experimental setup. When Lord Rutherford, another great scientist, came from England, he says, CV, I want to see your laboratory. Will you come? So CV Raman took the laboratory in IACS and he showed the laboratory. CV, you are joking. You mean to say with this laboratory, you got the Nobel Prize? He says, yes. We Indians believe actually too much. We believe in our psychic energy, our thinking potential. Our science grows here first. Before science goes to the laboratory, our science grows here. This is what he said. So, Rutherford was shocked. He says, my government gave me £1 million to set up a laboratory. I didn't get as good results as you. You will not believe. Broken mirrors, thrown away wires, some nuts and bolts, some screws were made into a laboratory setup to study the prismatic deviation of monochromatic light by C.V. Raman. This is the real story. So, he finally confirmed that monochrome light gives multichrome patterns. Scattering of light is a reality. And then he says light is made up of particles, which is now we all know as photons. Particle of light is photons. Molecular crystal structure studies got major boost. 1928, discovery took place. 29, lot of discussion, debate on that. And 1930, Physics Nobel Prize. After his publication of paper, 2,500 papers came out from all parts of the world by other people who worked on Raman Effect. 1,000 people got PhD by his simple observation worldwide within 10 years. Can you believe? One small discovery by Raman, and 1,000 people got their PhD studying on the effect of what Raman Effect meant and how it is studied. And today, you may not be knowing. You have seen everything, but you do not know. While going to the airport, when there is a security check of your luggage and the body, whatever is used, probe in hand, when you stand like this, they scan it. What is that? Use of Raman Effect. So there are many things, dear friends, which are with you and me day in, day out. Sniffer dog is one thing. Sniffer dogs are there to find out ganja, hashish, marijuana, etc., right? But when sniffer dogs fail, then Raman Effect comes to play. The inspectors, narcotic inspector, they trace the drugs inside suitcase in the body by the Raman probe. You name it. In medical science, in forensic science, in anti-corruption science, everywhere Raman Effect is there. And this man, he never knew that the world will be such, using his work in a tutti-frutti laboratory with only 500 rupees apparatus one day. So my comments here, Indian scientific research has a long culture tradition, ignored for a long time, but the world suddenly got busy with Indian science. Today, if you look at Indian science, Indian technology, right, it's a surprising thing. Yoga is a part of syllabi in many countries now. Even UN has taken resolution to celebrate International Yoga Day. Our Prime Minister made an appeal. He didn't know that it will be accepted, but looking at the positive side of yoga, now everywhere, it's a global trend. We keep on moving here and there. Whenever people know in some other countries that I'm from India, they ask these questions. Some questions are always there. Earlier the questions were negative. Now I have found the questions are changing from the global community. In 1996, Tulika had mentioned about my going in a 5-member Indian delegation to first Germany and then Brazil. Brazil was actual workplace for us. We had to go through different type of industries, people's life, shelter homes, whatever Rotary supported, and give our report on that. 2-3 questions were always there. Gandhi was very popular. Richard Attenborough's Gandhi became very popular. It was translated into different languages. So in Portuguese language, my friends in Brazil had seen. Rotary programs are not hotel stay, it is homestay program. You get to stay with some family in different places. So it was really enjoyable. And the first question, after you settle down in the family and hi, hello, after that they will ask you why your woman after marriage, they put a red dot here to say that I am married, not available, but the men don't put any mark. What answer do I give? I don't know what answer do I give. It's typical male chauvinist. then second question was, tell me, Arup, in your movie, Gandhi's wife is so nice. She is equally important for India's independence. Why she is not going in the same line with her husband? And I have found all women are following their husbands, few steps behind. Then I said, there is a saying, behind every successful man there is a woman. So the women, they always think that if there is some problem, he might fall down, he might lose his balance. I am there on the backside. No, you are trying to hide something from us. You still have a casteist society. Well, my friends were very smart. I stayed with 3-4 families, different cities, São Paulo, Santos, Rio de Janeiro, like that. So, and the third question was, why in every Indian movie, everywhere you show too many snake charmers? Is the country full of snake charmers? Do you still have some snake charming things or black magic? Now I cannot say I belong to a place, city, where it is known nationally and internationally as the city of all black magic, Kamakhya temple. People say, even now people say, a lot of Jarutona is there. And there is a place called Mayong, Morigaon. If you go from Chandrapur side, you can see in Mayong, people used to say, when you come there, if you do something wrong, they will make you, turn you into a goat. Okay? So, now things are changing. Now questions are different. Now in Germany or other places, when you go, you meet some people who have never come to India. They will ask you about all these things. Ayush. Now the catchword is Ayush. Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha. So European schools have also taken Vedic mathematics. We don't teach them. I was speaking with some school students in Maharshi, Guwahati. The school students, after I spoke to them, they told their principal, we want some Vedic mathematics. So I had to manage one small book on Vedic mathematics. It is a general thing only. It's only mathematics only. Way of teaching is different. Mathematics started from that small, board with small balls, what we call abacus, counting 1, 2, 3 like that. So only terms are changing, technology is changing, equipment are changing, but principle of teaching and learning has not changed. Concept of quantum holistic healing received fresh look from everyone. Medicinal plants are in sharp focus. Eco-friendly pesticides, agrochemicals finding popularity. People are drawn towards organics. You are all smart young people, you know about vegetarianism is in the rise. There is one more term called vegan, right? Vegan is there. Meditation accepted for stress relief. Ayush, already I have told you. A for Ayurveda, Y for Unani, Y for Yoga, U for Unani, S for Siddha, H for homeopathy. In Shillong, you have got one Ayush center here for the entire northeast. So like that. Neem, turmeric, many Indian herbs are being studied very thoroughly. But some common mistakes, what has been taking place, and the history will never forgive us. We could not actually bring back the tradition of SNT which was there in India. Hippocrates is considered the father of modern medicine, but he also collected information from Charaka and Susruta. Many of you must have heard about Charaka and Susruta. One is a medicine man, one is a surgery man. 400 years before Pythagoras, we all know Pythagoras' theorem, right? Our own Bodhayana proposed the same theorem. But since I told you, there was no written record, and the world doesn't believe to your tears or sentiments and emotions. One company in California called Rice Tech Incorporate, they said, these are our own rice, and they changed the name from Basmati, B-A-S, they changed to Jasmati and Techmati. Mati is there. So then there was a huge hue and cry. Indian people staying in USA, they says, Basmati is Indian rice. It cannot be grown anywhere. It cannot be accepted. If they had done it, then entire Europe and American market of Basmati Saul going from Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Haryana, the whole Pakistan, whole royalty will be taken by the Rice Tech Incorporate. They applied for patent. This is a historical case in India. Government of India was asked, Mrs. Gandhi, her son Rajiv Gandhi also became Prime Minister. They searched everywhere. They told the entire ministry, Home Ministry, 24/7, don't sleep, don't eat. Try to find out some document by which we can prove that Basmati is our rice. You'll be shocked to hear it was not any Indian scholar, but some German scholar, because German picked up Sanskrit long back. And in Germany, in most of the universities, they teach Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the mother language for computer. Whatever computer literacy is there, Sanskrit is the root. Your binomial theorem, your binary decimal, 01011010, is basically coming from the logic of Sanskrit. And then this German scholar says, we remember some place we have seen about Basmati rice, maybe in Banaras Hindu University. On the bank of river Ganga, whole archive library of BHU was brought out, laid down, and they tried to find out. Finally, they got some document where it was written that Basmati is the rice which is only and can be only grown by the sweet waters of the Himalayas. This word, sweet water of Himalayas, saved our country. Otherwise, today, every penny out of the royalty by selling basmati rice would have gone to somebody else. This is our drawback. Our drawback. I do not know whether in school you people had or not. In my school days, there was 10 marks, 20 marks reserved in all subjects for oral things. Teacher will make you stand up, give a small arithmetic, mental arithmetic. You solve it and answer it. That much of premium was laid. Therefore, many innovative good students were never called good students. They all became mediocres in life. Memorize, 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 rote learning. And now today we are saying rote learning has killed this country. Bhaskaracharya gave details of specific gravity 100 years before Isaac Newton. Sangram Madhava gave the same mathematical series which we call Gregory series today. I'm just giving few examples. 300 BC, before Christ, Charaka gave the theory of blood circulation. Who got the credit? In GK book, what do you get? Harvey. Harvey gets the credit for blood circulation theory. Aryabhat gave exact values of sphericity, diameter, speed of rotation, and number of revolution of Earth in 499 AD. But credit went to Johannes Kepler, Galileo Galilei, and Nicholas Copernicus in 15th century. Of course, I have immense respect for all these people. I wrote a monograph for Government of India on the life and tough time they had to face. Kepler, Galileo, Copernicus didn't have easy time. In those days, church was the overall authority. When church said, earth is the greatest, sun revolves around the earth, you have to believe it. Scientists found out earth doesn't rotate. Only 10 days back, we had celebrated the birthday of one great person who was the first martyr for science, Bruno. He was killed by stoning by the order of the church because he says this, earth is not all. There are many, many such planets like earth. We are just a planet. Sun is a star, is the ultimate thing. No one believed it. But these people had changed. Galileo, Kepler, Copernicus had tough time in convincing people. Then we had a famous mathematician called Brahmagupta. He also gave the equation which is now called Stice equation. What is wrong with us? I'm coming to the same point, oral tradition practiced everywhere. No or improper documentation. You were going to lose basmati rice. Some Gora Sahab from Germany saved us. You were going to lose haldi, turmeric. It was also going to be patented. When you fight in the country, you go to the session court, high court, supreme court like that. When countries fight, they go to International Court of Justice, which is at a place called The Hague. The Hague, right? Just before reaching Amsterdam. I was driving with my friend from Brussels in Belgium in the morning. Evening we crossed The Hague. I waited near that International Court of Justice because at that time, some case between India, Pakistan, etc. was going on. Repatriation, like that. So, in those countries, they go by all logic and rationality. Where is the paper? Sir, haldi is ours. Where is the paper? What is the proof? So, there is no documentation. Now, those mistakes are not committed. Report writing, documentation, keeping a diary and logbook is a part of science education here. I'm part of a 29-year-old national movement called National Children's Science Congress. In that movement, we have told the children, forget about your graph, chart, artwork. I'm interested, where is your logbook? When did you start your work? Which village did you go? Whom did you meet? What did you find out? India doesn't want to commit the same mistake again and again, and that is what is more sustainable than that. Vast country with no cohesiveness in scientific research or publicity. It's also true. Of course, now, rise of information and communication technology, ICT, has made it very important. Limited awareness and education on science. Weakness, negligence towards basic science, large premium on technology. This is also changing now. You must be all knowing about some trust given for basic science education. By basic science, I mean physics, chemistry, zoology, botany, mathematics, statistics, like that. It is not computer science. It's applied science, right? I am not a scientist in proper definition. People call us scientists, but I'm a chemical engineer. And we work on the principles. When people from organic, inorganic chemistry and people from mechanical engineering sit together, they give you some solution. Then we take the solution for refining our crude oil, for making chemicals for you, for making your clothes, for making your food, and all these things. Therefore, we call ourselves chemical engineer. Similarly, other engineering branches, but they are not pure science. So at one point of time, India suddenly found, 20 years back, that this is going to really kill our country's backbone. Because everybody had believed without a strong basic science background, a country cannot prosper only by technology. Agreed? So that is the point we are now trying to. In spite of whatever I have told, people missing the bus, not getting their name in the history books, in spite of that, we are proud of Indian science and scientists, our scientific institutions, our scientific discoveries, our scientific inventions. It's been a long journey for more than 5,000 years and really an unending journey. And here is a scientist extraordinary. You hardly find a person in the world who has got equal knowledge and his expertise on both life science and basic science, physical science. What is his name? Jagadish Chandra Bose. My friend from the first row, he is speaking. Young generation will not be able to find Jagadish Chandra Bose because he is a man of the past. Right? A fighter to the core, influenced by the character of Karna in Mahabharata. It is true for me as well. More than Yudhishthir or Arjun or Bhim, I like Karna because he has been a unfortunate child who did not, he lost his identity also. And he lost his battle in a very unfriendly, unethical way. Karna was the character that made Jagadish Bose move in his childhood. He proved that plants and metals have life. Someone spoke about crystallograph. Studied in UK, typical at the time, it was a part of Bengal culture. Assam also had few, but Bengal, almost every big family used to send their children for studies in England. He came back in 1885, joined in Presidency College as lecturer with half salary of the white, fought for 3 years for the rights of the Indian teachers. This is a ridiculous thing. Indian teachers will get 500, same course if a foreigner teaches will get 1,000 rupees. This was a Presidency College custom. He fought for it. Started serious research in life science and physics, received his fellow in Royal Society, FRS in 20. 1 year before Marconi, he proved and demonstrated wireless telegraphy. Again, Indian problem. 1 year before that he proved, but Marconi is now, his name is in golden letters when you talk about telephony, isn't it? So even telephone was used, we know telephone was invented by George Graham Bell, isn't it? Graham Bell. But actually, entire principle what makes telephone and radio work was demonstrated by J.C. Bose. But typical person, are ঠিক আছে কালকে করব आज করার কি দরকার why do today tomorrow I'll do it चलो थोड़ा अच्छा मछली मछली खड़ के खड़ चलते हैं এইটুই আমার this is the mentality tomorrow and Marconi was knowing Marconi had all his spies somebody was telling him that one black gentleman from Kolkata called Jagadish Chandra Bose is trying to do the same thing like you and we lost the battle. Invented many sensitive instruments like crystallograph, waveguide. Indian acclaim comes after Western praise. This is one more thing which you must remember. You will not get any prize in here. It will be difficult to get prize in Assam, Meghalaya, India. You get one international prize, everybody will run after you. Chief Minister will send the emissary, right? So to become famous, you have to go abroad. And you have to take some award or prize or something from abroad, publish in the newspaper, then you will see the fun. So Jagadish Bose was not known much. Otherwise also he was a simple man. He believed in people science movement. What we call nowadays PSM is people science movement. He did it much earlier. From the laboratory he will come out, he will stand in some chauraha, charali, crossing. and he will start talking to the people. How you should lead your life, how you should eat, how you should sleep, all these things, basic science for human benefit. Who were his, like mostly audience in Kolkata, say Chorangi or all those places, Goria Hat also. Who were his customers? Traditionally, rickshawala, thelawala, tramwala, small shopkeepers. साहब आ गया, चलो सुनते हैं साहब क्या बोलते हैं. Same story is with Birbal Sahani, Ruchi Ram Sahani in Chandigarh. क्या करना चाहिए, कैसा करना चाहिए आपको. Same story with another gentleman, I will come to his picture later on, who came from, after the First World War broke out, 1914, 1918. He was so upset. Why these countries are fighting after each other's blood? Same people, same religion, but they're fighting. So he came to India, settled down on the seashore near Bhubaneswar, Orissa, Kotak, etc. And then he came to Calcutta also briefly. JBS Halden. Sahab, JBS Halden, Ruchiram Sahani, Birbal Sahani, Jagadish Chandra Bose, to some extent also Satyan Bose, SN Bose, they were all believers of not keeping science inside the laboratory walls, but bringing science outside to people so that society benefits. Anyone can name him? You will tell, I know. Except you, anybody else has seen? You must be thinking some corona patient after COVID-19, looking for some help. He is the father of Indian chemistry, Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray. Born to a cultured, rich family of East Bengal, autobiography of Benjamin Franklin moved him from literature to science. Avid reader, researcher, observer, could speak and write and read Sanskrit, Latin, French, English, politics, economics, history, everything, although he was from the chemistry. DSc from Edinburgh in 1988, Doctor of Science. Joined Presidency College, same story like J.C. Bose, same story, half salary, fought for 3 years, got the salary. His book, The History of Hindu Chemistry, is a landmark globally. Saved every penny to start industry of his own. Discovered many chemicals and their derivatives, for example, mercurous nitrate. And the last point is most important. He is the founder of this Bengal Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals. Today in the market, you have got many domestic use phenyl. Whenever there is some snake during some monsoon period, where I used to stay earlier in the university campus, my mother will tell me, along with the list, she will write one black phenyl. And that black phenyl invariably was from Bengal Chemicals. Assam had no phenyl factory at that time in my childhood. It came from Acharya P.C. Ray's industry, Bengal Chemicals. So famous it was. So there are so many people who have made us proud, but unfortunately we don't know. Will another ever come? Who is he? Ramanujan. Some more now people who can tell. J.C. Bose, P.C. Ray, they will not be able to say, but Ramanujan, they will be able to be telling about. 22nd December every year we have the National Mathematics Day. 22 December. Because of this man, Ramanujan. Kya tha? What was he? Born in a place called Erode in Tamil Nadu. 22 December. Love for numbers, puzzles, equations. At the age of 13, he solved Loney's trigonometry, which we didn't understand even in Cotton College during our pre-university days. At 15 years, he read Synopsis of Elementary Results in Pure and Applied Maths by G.S. Carr, triggering into genius. He did schooling but failed in the college. Can anyone tell me why did he fail in the college? Why did he fail in the college? If you want to pass any examination, you have to pass in literature, other subjects, social studies, science, mathematics, everything, right? He got 100 upon 100 in mathematics, but less than 10, less than 20 in all the subjects. So who will give him degree? He didn't get any degree officially. Then he had survival problems. Ultimately, some teachers told that he's a very brilliant chap. Forget about his degrees. Give him some job. For rupees 25 per month, he joined the Madras Port Trust. He wanted money, not for food, but for ink and papers. He needed 2,000 sheets of paper every month. He used, reused, and reused papers with different color ink. Are you getting my point? If you write in blue first, between the lines you can again use the paper writing in red. He was so hard pressed for money. I have gone to his house in Chennai. I have gone to that college as a guest of honor to speak on National Science Day way back in 2001, 2002. It's called Pachapayas College in Chennai. Pachapayas College. Not very well known like St. Xavier's or other college, but Pachapayas College is the college where Raman used to go, and they have kept his treasure everywhere. Whatever small even sheet of paper he wrote with his handwriting is kept in the museum. Established contact with Professor Hardy of Cambridge, and Cambridge came to his rescue. March 1914, he set out for UK, and the great team of history, mathematics history, was created called Hardy Ramanujam team. One person with PhD, postdoctoral fellowship, etc. One person under metric, but great ingenuity in mind. He ate and drank and slept and dreamt of only mathematics, only numbers. That is Srinivas Ramanujan. But food, cold condition, childhood problems result in bad health and compel him to return to India. A genius passed away much before time. How long he stayed? 29 years. 29 years. But he has done so much. His condition was sinking. Hardy said, you don't have to take solid meat. My wife will make some chicken soup for you. Srini, you must take the soup. No, I will not take. I'll prefer to die. So in a nursing home in Cambridge University, he was there. Few days later, he was being shipped to India with all escort by Cambridge, because whatever he had done in Cambridge is exemplary. To just lift up the mood, his friend Hardy came and told, he knew this man's condition every hour is sinking, but still he says, you know, Srini, I took a taxi right now from my home, and the number was 1729. 1729. What an uninteresting number. Dull number. It doesn't make any sense to me. In fainted voice, Ramanujan says, Professor Hardy, it is the smallest number which can be expressed as summation of cubes of two numbers in two different ways. 10 cube plus 9 cube is 1729. 12 cube plus 1 cube also is 1729. Hardy wrote, I have come across a lot of miracles, magics and wonders in my life. But a man who has few days to live life was so mentally alert that only hearing the number 1729, he told me that is the smallest number which can be expressed as summation of cubes of two numbers in two different ways. That is Srinivas Ramanujan, who was born in your country, India. He says, I am Bose if you are Einstein. Bose-Einstein statistics. S.N. Bose and Albert Einstein, they also made a sort of Hardy-Ramanujan type of Jodi combination. Right? When the clouds roar, Meghnad Saha, builder of India's modern temples. You have heard about CSIR laboratory, Council for Scientific Industrial Research. Right? CSIR laboratories, all those 40 laboratories are coming under that. Right? This man, he made the entire roadmap ready for all these temples. PC Muhammad Nabis. Atomic energy for peace. Ki naam? Homi Bhabha. Homi Jahangir Bhabha. I asked in a school, do you know Homi Bhabha? No, children are silent. Many years back. I said, do you know Vikram Sarabhai? No. Do you know Mallika Sarabhai, daughter. Malvika Sarabhai, Mallika Sarabhai, wife and daughter. Yes, sir, we know. Why? She played the role of Draupadi in a famous play, full-length play. She played the role of Draupadi. Well, her father gave India the science which we are still harnessing. So he is the man who gave atomic energy, died in a plane crash. Very unfortunate, Baba. He is the gene code buster. He is Hargobind Khurana. Hargobind Khurana. Finding limits with limitless talent. Nephew of C.V. Raman. S. Subramaniam Chandrasekhar. S. Chandrasekhar. Dream merchant of science. Vikram Sarabhai. Vikram Sarabhai. Engineer par excellence. I am proud to be an engineer because of this man. Sir Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya. The man who eradicated malaria. Ronald Ross. R-O-S-S, Ross. Ronald Ross. European body with an Indian soul. J.B.S. Halden. J.B.S. Halden. These are the people for whom you and I are living in this country. K.S. Krishnan. In Delhi, near UGC, if you go out from our campus, DST campus, behind that NCERT is there, under whom you are all part of the NCERT family, right? Earlier it was NIPA, then became NUPA. I changed to you. Me and my wife, after our marriage, we were new couple in the DST. So sometime we will just go out of the office to have food. Very good in the canteen, food is there. And we used to have a lot of friends. Professor Maheshwari was our actually governing body member. A.N. Maheshwari was the deputy chief of NCERT, was our governing body member in Vigyan Prasar. So he was very close to us. So we used to sometimes go to eat food in NCERT campus. This K.S. Krishnan was a direct student of C.V. Raman. Now, those pictures I have shown you, one line I am telling. S.N. Bose worked on radiation, thermodynamics, Planck's laws besides other aspects. He is the man who has been immortalized because of his name tied with Albert Einstein. Ronald Ross, malaria spread theory, 1897. Very much Indian. Name is Sahib, Western, but he is very much Indian. Meghnad Saha, most original Indian astrophysicist, known for equations connecting a star and an atom. K.S. Krishnan, student of Raman, had notable contribution of Raman's work. First director of National Physical Laboratory, NPL, New Delhi. M. Vishweshwaraya, I told you, engineer par excellence. If you go to Mysore, please don't miss to see the Vrindavan Gardens with the dancing fountain. Many of you must have gone there. Please see Vrindavan Garden, then Krishna Raja Sagar Dam, Kaveri Waterworks, Bhadravati Iron. Have you seen a very wonderful soap, oval-shaped soap called Mysore Sandal? Who made this company? Vishweshwaraya. Not just a civil engineer, I will be doing my work typically. These are all institution builders, wealth builders. And today India realized by just knowing lots of like theories and principles and equations, having a lot of knowledge doesn't make a person. You have to create livelihood, create job for others. He believed in that. Hargobind Khurana broke the gene code with two other gentlemen, Nirenberg and Holy, Nobel Prize for Medicine, 1968. He produced the first man-made gene piece by piece out of a yeast cell. Where do you get yeast? Every morning in your breakfast table? Yogurt, you get yeast. Bread also, yes. Very correct. Madam is correct. You get that. Few more pioneers. Chandrasekhar, black hole. J.B.S. Halden, true Indian who popularized science and technology beyond imagination. The list could go on and on and on, but I am not interested for that. I want to just draw your attention for a few minutes on the S&T for sustainable future. Since you have invited me here, you have to bear me. Some people are getting, some people are they have some other work to do, much better work than listen to some dry lecture, but still I have to speak because I have traveled all the way from my home in Guwahati, leaving the office for a few hours. So, Indian science technology was not given much importance. I am not saying you look at the countries 5-year plans and the annual budget. It will speak amply for you. How much percentage of the money has been spent? Of course, India is very unevenly poised in some terms of, right from the birth. 15th August 47 itself, we have a very hostile neighbor. Not one, but two. Pakistan and China, both. Rest are not any force for us. One missile is enough to destroy all the small nations. But these two nations having a great international ramification. If you go to Pakistan, 10 more countries will raise their head from some other place. Joe Biden, however friendly he might be with Narendra Modi, he will start shouting. See how America has deceived Ukraine. They said, Ukraine, that you fight, we are there with you. But when Russia actually attacked them, then they say, it's your own war. What can we do? Playing very safe. So like that, India's majority of the budget allocation was going for defense services, feeding millions of armies in the borders and combating all these things. 1962 Chinese aggression, 65 Pakistan war, 71 Bangladesh liberation war. Then see all these things in your times you have seen all these things. So these things are going on. Therefore, we are getting the list. We are getting the list amount. Science technology has a list. Education has been not given due coverage. Developed countries in the UN bodies actually put STI in high pedestal as a key driver of development process. They don't have as many problems like us. That's the point. Whenever I go abroad, people are very happy to go abroad, see new places. But when I see their places, when I see their institutions, when I visit their university, actually it gives me more pain than happiness. And where are we and what are we doing? We always keep on saying, I have got a 5,000 year plus civilization which none of you have in the world. When our people were writing Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Samhitas, when we had Nalanda, Takshila, Vikramshila, you people were naked. You didn't know how to wear cloth. Africa and half of Europe was naked. They didn't know how to use cloth or cook food. But now you look at those countries, how much progress they have been making. A country like Puerto Rico, in the Human Development Index is number 1. The country which you made the country giving your money and your blood in 71, Bangladesh, has a better Human Development Index and better Health and Sanitation Index than India. This is not my report. This has been written by none other than Nobel laureate of India, Amartya Sen. Right? So, UNESCO assisted countries to invest in STI and integrate science policies with flagship programs. Now it is coming back. Okay? I could go on and on with this type of discussion on global funding, World Bank funding, UNESCO funding, UNDP funding, UNEP funding. But basically, the country which will take the donation from others, help from others, it has to weave together the science, technology, innovation things with the development process. You are having Mahatma Gandhi NREGA program, one of the big programs in the country, right? 100 days job guarantee for the jobless people. You are having Krishi Sinchai Yojana. You are having Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana to make rural roads. And these are working also. It's not myth. Last week only I visited Kokrajhar, Bongaigaon area. The type of road I have seen in the interior village, amazing. Some places better than Guwahati city also. Not a single pothole. Miles after miles of good road and a small board built under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So things are happening. Now it is a time to integrate your STI with the development process. That's why I write, science policies are not enough. STEM, what is STEM?
Science, technology, engineering and medicine.
Last one is not correct. Mathematics. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Okay. So this is at all levels. To increase your capabilities in research, your manpower, we need to properly harness and sustain. STI occupies center state. A rational and just society will be formed if science is linked to society. If public understanding of science is strong, and if citizen science empowers people to make professional, personal, political choices, right? Public understanding of science, this is something which was wrongly used in our country for many, many years. And I'm also partly responsible. We were part of some sort of, things which was not probably good for the country. You have heard about a lady called Medha Patkar, have you?
Yes.
What was she famous for?
Chipko movement.
Narmada Bachao. Narmada Bachao. Chipko was the person who died last year, Sundarlal Bahuguna. Chandri Prasad Bhatt and Bahuguna started Chipko movement in the same line of those people, Bishnoi, in the 15th century. You all remember this thing. Salman Khan, Sonali Bendre still facing the case, not yet over. Killing the deer. Yes.
It's a matter of
Bishnoi, what is Bishnoi?
it's a matter of prestige, sir. Bishnoi cannot be killed.
Now, why in the name Bishnoi? Their guru, Sant Jambeswar, boliye. Bish mane 20, Noi mane 9. 20 plus 9 principles. Wow. 29 principles was given by Guru Jambeswar, who founded this community in Rajasthan called Bishnoi. 29 principles, one principle was, do not kill any animals. One of the principles. And there are many more principles. Only take that much from nature what you need. Don't pluck a flower. Flower looks good in the plant, not in your hands or drawing room. I'm happy. No flower has been given to me today. Some flowers are kept here, that's okay, fine. But it is bouquet. By the time I reach Guwahati through office, my home at 6, 7 p.m., it will be wasted. I told some people somewhere, if you want to give some flower, give me a pot plant, which I can nurture at my home. So nowadays things are changing. Bishnoi community had given this. Narmada Bachao Andolan was started by Medha Patkar. She was always having problem with the Narmada authority, and therefore, when in a place called Shamala Hill, Regional Institute of Education, RI, Bhopal, 1997, 26 December, I was the India's coordinator, national coordinator for Children's Science Congress. All 30 Indian states and UTs had come with their team to that auditorium of RI, like yours, RI in Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal. Then, when Medha Patkar, I didn't know who invited her, she just came, entered the hall, auditorium. Chief Secretary of MP government, S.C. Beher, was sitting with me. He just uttered in Hindi, हे फिर प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो जाएगी. सर क्या हुआ? अरे तुम तो नया लड़का हो. 1997, I was also not like this, na? Much more young and dashing and so, सर आप संभाल लीजिए, तुम कुछ मत बोलना. First thing, you are not from Madhya Pradesh, you are an outsider from Northeast. तुम secretary हो, you keep your cool, मैं संभाल लूँगा. She was insisting that she will come to the inaugural program and sit. Will you believe 32 children and school teachers from Gujarat just left the auditorium shouting, Medha Patkar, hi, hi, Medha Patkar, Mordabad. When my own sister was studying anthropology in Delhi University, she and her students from Northeast were collecting money from people, selling sweaters, navy blue sweater, on the back, white wool, likha hua tha, Save Narmada. They were selling sweaters in Delhi at the time. 32 school children who had come to participate in Science Congress just boycotted the inaugural session. I was going to rise from the chair because embarrassing for me. My first year as a national secretary. Next day, kya hoga in the media? The Behar Saab is a fatherly figure for me, even today. God told me, तुम बैठे रहो, मैं तुमको बोला. गुजरात टीम बाहर गया है, 1 घंटे के बाद ये औरत चली जाएगी, फिर वो लोग आ जाएगा वापस. They will come back. और तुमको क्या कारण है, मैं बाद में बताऊंगा. Inaugural ceremony was over with 1 state minus in the hall. Right? And then after that, Medha Patkar left. She had some followers, some media running after her. Next move, what are you going to do, this and that to save Narmada. Our program started. Gujarat came back. They apologized to us कि हमने बहुत ही खराब काम किया. Very unsportsman spirit. Like we went out, we walked out, but we will not tolerate this lady. Then Beher Saab, over a cup of tea, told me, देखो बेटा ऐसी बात है. After India gained independence, the first Home Minister, Sardar Sarovar Patel, was dreaming of giving a drop of water to the people of Gujarat. Some power to the children in the villages who can read on the electricity bulb. Some navigation facilities. It is full of water, but not a state subject because these are interstate water. From a place called Amarkantak in Chhattisgarh. From Amarkantak is making my life much easier. So that river comes out, flows through Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra and goes to the Arabian Sea. तो ये रिवर किसका हुआ? 3 स्टेट का हो गया. हाँ, तो फिर नेशनल रिवर like our Brahmaputra, Tibet, China, then Arunachal, Assam, Bangladesh, like that. Therefore, what happened? When this lady stopped the Indira Sagar Dam in their area, Chhattisgarh was not born in 1997, my dear friends. It was born in 1999. Okay? So I'm talking about MP. So MP, if you stop the dam in that place, the below dam, which is called Sardar Sarovar Dam, in Gujarat, will not be a possibility. So people were saying, ये औरत ने धमकी दे के गवर्नमेंट को एंड नॉर्मल अथॉरिटी को हमारा सारा डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस स्टॉप कर दिया. Gujarat had no other way of getting navigation facilities, some drinking water, some irrigation water, and some water for power development. Rest is history. She always gave the threat, if you make this dam, start a dam, I will go Jal Samadhi. I will commit suicide in the water of Narmada. नहीं हो पाया. फिर एक बुढ़ा आदमी, one old man, retires from his job, voluntary retirement, called Nelson Mandela in South Africa. He calls his deputy Thabo Mbeki and says, Thabo, I am getting old. That is not the only reason. He was also in love at that age with a lady. No. But तुमको मरवाएगा क्या? He'll kill me. One lady, African lady was there who also lost her husband, Shamora Marshall's wife. So that lady was in love with Mandela. तो आप लोग ये मत सोचो कि शादी करने का खाली 20-30 में शादी होता है, प्यार होता है. ऐसा नहीं है. शादी और प्यार कभी भी होता है. Look at Mandela, 90 plus, and his wife 80 plus. And they live for quite some time very happily. So he called his deputy and says, Thabo, I am getting old. I cannot run the country anymore. Please take the reins. So they took a date, and Mandela, first black president of South Africa, handed over the power to his deputy Thabo Mbeki. Now, there was another gentleman sitting in New York called Kofi Annan, even Secretary General. Kofi Annan says, what is this man doing? He has retired. He doesn't require 24 hours to love his wife and go here and there. Call him to New York. So UN gives an invitation to him. Most strong voice in the world, Nelson Mandela. So he says, Kofi Annan says, sir, WCD, World Commission on Dam. WCD means World Commission on Dams, all the dams. There are 30,000 dams, big and small, medium in the world. River dam. उनका ऊपर एक committee है, WCD, under UN. The post of chairman is lying vacant. So Kofi Annan's proposal is accepted by Mandela. I cannot come every time to New York. I will sit in Johannesburg, South Africa. But when you call me, I'll come. We'll have telephonic discussion. Now he told his people, office in WCD, दुनिया का सबसे 20 जो आदमी है गड़बड़ वाला, उसको निकालो, नाम निकालो. Find out 20 troublebongers in the world who are making life of their respective governments horrible. वो 20 troublemakers में मेधा पटकर का नाम भी आ गया. So she is making life horrible for the Indian government, and Supreme Court में case चालू है. Right? Now this man has got magic. 2-3 sittings in UN office, headquarters, and he tells Medha, let the development take place. Water, Almighty has given us the water without harming anybody, killing a single soul. If little bit of displacement is here and there, if you can make some river dam, take the water, get the power. Your state MP is already rich. Gujarat, interior Gujarat is very, very poor. No power, no irrigation, dry. A bucket of water selling for 100 rupees. Why don't you allow Medha? Let us bargain. Then it was like a fish market. ये कितना भाव 300 रुपया नहीं 200 देंगे. Ultimately for 250 रुपया you buy it ना. So Medha Patkar said 562 meters. We won't allow the dam height 562 meters. I want 530, 540 feet meters height. Narmada authority says not viable, economically viable नहीं है. If we don't go to 550 meters at least dam height, ये viable नहीं होगा project. We need to make the project viable. So there was a bargaining between authority of the Narmada, Supreme Court of India, Nelson Mandela, Medha Patkar. Finally they allowed. Now everything is there. Go to Gujarat, you can see power. That's why this huge statue of Patel has come up now. World's tallest statue has come up now in Kewadia, Gujarat. How? It's power. Electricity is a prime mover of development, whether you accept or don't. Whether it comes from the nuclear power, it comes from coal or petroleum or hydropower, water power, it doesn't matter. But and you people are sitting in a place which is surrounded by Northeast India's first hydropower story. Barapani, Umtru, Umiam, these are the beginning of all the hydel projects. Okay? So, traditional knowledge, indigenous knowledge, these with science, technology, innovation policies are integrated. And you have to look at a holistic view. Sustainable development is not something great, rocket science. It is not rocket science. It is a simple thing which is trying to give you a better future, a green future without harming the environment. That is what is called future sustainability. Can we attain sustainable development goal by 2030? This is the biggest question now. Water security for global peace and prosperity. I have already spoken about that. In Delhi, when there is a meeting of the National Development Council, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, they don't sit together. If you give them chair, they will go out of the meeting. Because they are fighting for Kaveri water dispute. Sworn enemies, they don't sit together. In between, you have to put Assam, Bihar, etc. to break the... Karnataka also. Almaty Dam. Remember the day, Almaty Dam. Kaveri dispute. So, scientific knowledge of Earth's history and mineral resources, very essential. Water dynamics, urban problems, solution, wetlands and oceans. I'm just giving the names to you. Maybe sometime in life, we'll have the opportunity for more time and more discussion on these topics. Okay. Last point, please have a look. Food for all, housing for all, education for all, health security for all, gender equity. Gender equity. This is, people didn't understand why we should educate all the women, why we should send them to work, why they should be given equal property rights. What is the reason? People didn't understand. But dear friends, let me tell you, after I have gone through this gender equity issues for last 10 years, since my wife has taken the responsibility of this gender equity division in DST, she's a senior scientist in Government of India, since that time, last 10 years, I have realized how much our sisters and mothers need empowerment to make the society really sustainable. That is what people are saying now. Old sayings are already there. If you educate the father, it may not affect the children. If you educate the mother, it will really affect all the children. Whole family will be educated. Therefore, gender equity, pollution-free environment, healthy forests and healthy pastures, these are all important for sustainable development. But you will not be able to achieve it. I'm telling you, this slide is there. If you go business as usual, meaning whatever is happening today, let it happen. Suppose today we put a fix. Today's development, today's lifestyle, we say, और कुछ नहीं, नीचे भी नहीं, कम भी नहीं, fix कर दिया उसको, landmark. Then, by next 2050, you will be having 3.2 degree rise in degree rise in global temperature. Air pollution will affect 4.9 billion people. 84% fresh fish stock will be endangered. And water stress will further affect 2.75 billion people. By 2050, also estimate for global population, which is now around 7.4 billion, will be 9.7 billion. This is what? These are the data given by UN if business as usual is maintained. Now, I'm sure you all know, I also know, business as usual will not be tolerated. It has to come down. You have Paris Agreement, you have all these COPs happening. Glasgow, you remember last COP was happening in Glasgow. Every country has said, we will do this, we will do that. Already things are started. When I came to Shillong, I took my petrol in the vehicle today. Already I have got 90% petrol from hydrocarbon and 10% from ethanol. Already in Meghalaya, your Meghalaya petrol pump, 9:10 petrol has come. So this ethanol is going to really help the environment. Less pollution, less costly, less amount of withdrawal of crude oil from the ground. So all these things will contribute to green future. Global population, as I said, will rise, and 54% increase in global food demand, 56% increase in global energy demand. These are really very, very frightening statistics for me. Changes are imminent, so is our change in mindset. We must change and bring changes to survive. When I talk about mindset, I still remember Indira Gandhi, when she started social forestry, she gave a lecture, historic lecture. All her ministers and officers in Delhi came to Mrs. Gandhi, and you know how powerful she was as a prime minister. She said, before planting trees in the country for social forestry, plant one tree in your mind. Prime Minister of the country tells the scientists and engineers and government officers, IAS people, plant one tree in your mind before planting trees in the field. Then only you will be able to do social forestry. Same thing. I can keep on going for thousands of slides giving you statistics about what is there, how things can be done, how things cannot be done, need not be done. But if you don't change your mindset, then things will not change. Therefore, when you talk about science technology for sustainable future, what I mean, I gave a peace of mind to you today. My last slide is, our heritage is great, no doubt about that. Our history is colorful, our achievements are superb, our scientific manpower is capable, our technology has a very strong base. If you think that everything is from America or Germany or Japan we are buying, it is not because of our lack of technology or science, it's because of other political issues and compulsions. We must use all these positive attributes and the power of science technology innovation for India's survival. National Science Day today is the time to think and act. Thanks a lot.